Okay, let's see. Today we're gonna look at Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka, depends how you wanna call it. And it's pretty much an island state, as you can see. We're very close to India. I don't know why. Probably in some videos I mentioned that they have a bridge between them, but they are not. So, but clearly they could be one very, I would say, easily, with some budget, and probably they're gonna bring some economic prospects. But that's a different discussion. So it's an island country, which is interesting, and we're gonna see exactly how those people live. At first, we're gonna look at the population. Let's start with that. So Sri Lanka have around 23 million people, and you can see here they're still on the up trajectory. The growing rate slows down. We're gonna see how that is gonna be. Now, 1955, 8.6 million people, 2% increase of the population. That will translate roughly in 162,000. Migration on the minus around 11,000. Median age very young at 19 years old, and one of those nonsense fertility rate 5.3. Density 138, doesn't matter that much, but the urban population was around 15.9%. Now, fast forward to today, 2025, you're gonna see 23.2 million people, which is a huge increase, I would say. The yearly change, the yearly percentage change, it's going to be around 0.54, and the net increase is going to be around 125. So they decreased number wise from 1955, you can see, but still the population grew a lot. Now, migration minus 30,000, and I can confirm that probably all of them just leaving Sri Lanka for the Western countries. Even in my country, I see them all the time. I even asked one who was they deliver food on the scooter, and he says he was from Sri Lanka. So yeah, a lot of them I can see them here. So clearly they leave the country for the West. Now median age around 33, so they kind of got pretty old, I would say, reasonably fast. And the fertility rate got below replacement at 1.9, so at least they learn a bit of something. Now, urban population didn't increase that much, just 18%, so yeah. Now, let's look in the future, 2050, the population is gonna go around 24 million people, 0.8, and that is gonna be pretty much, I would say, the last year of the growing. Maybe that's going to happen sooner than that. It's going to be 0.06%, and the net increase in population is going to be around 15,000, and still they have a lot of migration on minus, like around 30,000. So on that chapter they project that they're going to be consistent, but we're going to see how that is going to play. Median age 40 years old, so it's just 100 years, almost 100 years. They did double that. Not a huge one compared with other countries, but still, it's just every time we double a number, it's going to translate in something later. Fertility rate, they're going to keep it below replacement, around 1.7 they say, but more like it's going to be under 1.5, I would say. But we're going to see how that is going to be. Urban population 26%, so it's kind of interesting. A country that is not that much urbanized, but clear, not that bigger either. Somehow they managed to go below replacement rate at the fertility, and also stop growing the population, I would say. We're gonna see how that is gonna play in the future. Now, life expectancy 78 years old, which is very good, I would say. A bit too much, but it is what it is. Female around 81 years old, and males they're gonna live around 75, so not a huge difference between them. Infant mortality rate 4.8, and death at the age of 5.6. They are pretty big numbers compared with what you can see in the West, but for an Asian country here that poor, they are actually amazing numbers. I hope they report them correctly, but I guess you never know. But if they are correct numbers, clearly they have some decent medical system, I would say, and a good one for the Asia. So yeah, we're gonna see that. Now, clearly, let's say any other country is gonna see a male surplus in population. Not that much, probably because a lot of them just leave for the West. But nevertheless, they have such a increase, such a bit of the surplus in male population. As you can see, this pyramid, the base starts to shrinking, so that's gonna be a trend that I would say that will continue in the future. Now, economic of the Sri Lanka, I like this picture for some reason. Not well, obviously, just GDP around 100 billion US dollars and PPP around 342 billion. Not huge numbers, but at least they have some decent growing, 5% and 5.4. For 100 billion, not much. Again, those numbers not gonna feel it amazing, but there is at least on the growth side. So yeah, GDP per capita for oh god, 4,500 US dollars and nominal, and 15,000 PPP. Yeah, those are small numbers, and especially with that 21 right now million people population, and probably that's a bit older now. It's around 23 million. The good news is in the next 25 years they're not gonna grow that much. So just by let's say maybe 2 million. So at least they have that, but I'm not sure exactly how that is gonna help them for these generations that are working and living right now. Probably that's why they choose to work abroad. Now, one thing that I want to mention here that I see recently in the Western countries, agriculture is such a small percentage of the economy. It's like, I think in America and US, it's less than 1%. And even industry, if you don't have that high-end industry that's gonna bring a lot of money, even having that is not gonna save you, I would say, that much. Services, especially in the Western world, they're around 70-80%. So that probably is gonna be a healthy number to just pretty much circulate the money in the country in between population. But I would bet, like, if you work in a service industry, probably you're gonna have a better life, because in an agriculture industry usually gonna take a toll on your body, and also I don't think that economically reward is gonna be that much higher. So yeah, inflation, they say minus 2.6%, which is deflation. Which, funny things, here in the West, when you have deflation, it's pretty much, they say, worse than inflation. At some level, it's pretty true, I would say. Unfortunately, for the, let's say, economic environment that we develop in the last 50 to 80 years, a bit of inflation, but I would say like 1, maybe at the max 2%, usually gonna ensure some growth, especially with the growing population. That, I think, they are strictly related with their relation between them. I don't know if it's actually true, but if somebody make a link between them, but I would say that you have more people to feed, and you have limited resources. Somehow you have to, let's say, spread these resources, those resources to more people. So you're gonna kind of use inflation to do that. And when you have deflation and still a population growing, that's not usually a good thing. But yeah, maybe just me, I don't know. Main export partners: USA, which is pretty interesting, 25%, UK, India, Germany, and Italy. And they import a lot from China, India, UAE. I have no idea what they import from there. I would say that they export labor there, cheap labor, but clearly they import something there. Malaysia and Singapore there also. So yeah, economic wise, not that well. Corruption, well, look at the map, still very corrupt country, but let's see exactly where they're situating themselves. Let's go by the name, let's not be that strict with them. Sri Lanka, 32. Well, it's not the worst, but clearly a very corrupt country. Anything under the blue color, it's just, look at this. If it's not blue, and even America, it's not that great either. Most of the European countries, not that great area. I can say there are a lot of problems in those corruption countries with high corruption. Sri Lanka, again, is one of them. So maybe, I didn't check exactly how many points they got up or down. Let me check again. So yeah, they dropped 6 points. So well, clearly things are not going well there. History, well, I don't know that much of them. Let's see, they were a British colony at some point, at least a very highly influenced region. So I would say they should have some European values. I'm not sure exactly how much they use that in their advantage, but for a relatively small population compared with their neighbors, pretty much India, I suspect, or at least I expect to see some European influence. And when you have that European influence on such a small, not exactly small country, small population, but compared, like I said, with India, you should do better than I would expect. So let's get to the chase now and see exactly how those people live. This is the main event of the video, and look at this, how they look from the satellite from above. Clearly an island country with like a tier shape, I don't know. Let's check. Look at this, a lot of street views, which I really like that. When you have that a lot of street view, that shows me that you don't want to hide anything. It is the way it is. Again, some European values, good or bad, doesn't matter. You're working to improve it, and you have to show it the way it is. We're gonna start on the beach here. It looks like if we have that white sand, I would say it looks like Caribbean. A little bit of garbage here, which again I blame. Here I could blame the population a bit, because yeah, a lot of them probably gonna be by the sea, but still you can clean up the beach. So far we have, I think it's a resort here. What is this? Or maybe some architectural point. Yeah, maybe an old fort or something like that, but clearly not that well maintained. I don't know exactly how they're doing in the tourist area, but I would say not amazing, judging by the GDP and also by I heard some people on the internet at least that they make videos just, oh, we got to Sri Lanka, you have to see it now immediately, but I didn't have any friends or family that actually got there and say, oh, we're gonna go there. Clearly they have this old fort, whatever it is, and then you have this whatever they're trying to build here. Yeah, doesn't look good in my opinion, but it is what it is, I guess. Housing a bit too close to the shoreline, but again, I don't expect to see a highly efficient urban code, let's call it like that. So yeah, I can see again those old forts, whatever they have, probably date from the British era, I would say. I'm not sure, but I have to give them to the British something. So far that doesn't look that bad, but yeah, and this is 2019, so just before the pandemic. You're gonna feel that low GDP per capita. It's gonna show that the government, they don't have exactly a lot of resource to make him look good, let's say, the country. I am also interested in the roads. I am curious how well they cope. And also, like I said, look, it's better to have a road like this than you just have a tarmac road with a bunch of potholes. So I'm gonna choose the dirt road every day. It's obviously much easier to maintain. Look at this. Wow, how many? Every single street is just have a street view. So that's pretty good. Okay, let's check this one. I don't know why they blur this region right here, for whatever reason. Here the road actually doesn't look extremely bad. I don't know exactly where they're trying to get me. I have no idea this language what they say, but clearly they have some Murdihi development officer. I have no idea what that guy does, but probably they develop some buildings in the region or whatever. But judging by their headquarters, doesn't look that well in the first place. So yeah. The road pretty good, I would say, for bikes. You can see here, and scooters, very narrow, but I would say not so bad. Obviously, actually, I'm not sure how clean that water it is, but the architecture, well, not a big fan of the pink houses, but at least they have, at least for this one, they have some room between them. This is a banana tree, and they have bananas. Look at this. That's actually pretty nice. I have one of those banana trees, but I have in a pot, and I have to just put them in my yard, my parents' yard. This one is a lion. Probably the lion is one of those symbol of the country. They built from concrete, which is good, but those whatever bricks they are, not so well. I imagine they don't have to worry about hitting their house. But maybe they have to worry about cool them down. Yeah, urban planning, well, not that well in this region, obviously. At least they have, like I said, they don't have that much. This one, I would say, not exactly an urban population here, but also I would say when you have so many houses, not jammed together, but very close to each other. A lot of dogs here and garbage here, which I don't like it. Probably they invest a lot of money in those fences, which I think it's a waste of money. Probably those fences gonna cost it equal with their their house. So I do not recommend that. Some garbage on the road, which I don't like it. A lot of dogs without an owner, I would say. Clear they get fire, whatever they done there. Yeah, those fences is just not my thing. I don't dig those kind of things. This door here, whatever it is, oh my god, it just looks expensive. This one looks more cheaper. If that guy just have a look at this is a house just for one person. They have quite a bit of room then, so they're not exactly jammed together, which is good thing. When you have a decent land, let's say a bit of more space, you can do a lot. Even if you are poor like this, you can still have some breathing space to actually make it look nice. Yeah, you can see that it's not exactly very well maintained. Look at this road. Like I say, I prefer one of those dirt roads than have like a potholes with a tarmac road with full of potholes. Now those guys clearly they work probably outside the country. They just made their roof much more cleaner. Those fences, I think they look much better than this door. I don't like it, but the fences look much better than those concrete ones. I would prefer not fence whatsoever. This one just fell off, so yeah. And clean up here just look horrible. You're gonna take like how much? Half an hour maybe, and just keep it clean, and they're gonna look much better. Housing, well, I have to say, doesn't look that well, but also not that worst. And here I think we are in the countryside, which is pretty a bit strange, I would say, because here we have tarmac. Because there are some houses pretty close to each other. We have some goats here, which they kind of walk freely. Again, those garbage here, that's the main problem here. If you don't have that garbage, it's gonna look much better. They have some palm trees here, which is good. Here is the main road. Okay, let's check this one. And I like to play volley, I guess, which I'm not a big fan. Yeah, the road actually looks pretty good. It's wide enough, it's clean. This is 2022, so pretty recently. Level with the ground, which I like it. You know what? This one, maybe it wasn't finished yet, but yeah, clearly at least they want to maintain it, and they're working on that. So yeah, pretty decent roads so far. This one doesn't look that well here, but also you don't see that many potholes. So yeah, pretty decent, especially if you have like a motorcycle or scooter, you just stay clear of those bad areas. Not so bad so far. Actually, you know what? Not so bad. Like I say, I expected much worse. That's the thing when you go to those countries, you expect the worst, and yeah, you have some high expectation, low expectation, and you kind of, it's okay, it actually doesn't look that bad. This one again doesn't look that bad. I prefer a fence like this than just those nonsense concrete ones. A dirt road, again, much better than a pothole one. They have electric power, which is good, I guess. They have decent lengths here, so not that tiny, not that jammed together, which is good. They have palm trees, which also is nice. I'm not sure if they have clean water here, or at least water. But pretty decent, I have to say, pretty decent. I'm not sure if that is a cemetery there, but it looks like one. Let me check this one here. Yeah, if somebody's they're gonna fool me, like, oh, I could say that looks like they are in the Caribbean. We're gonna check Caribbean when I go to the Americas, but so far we're gonna finish the Asia, and then South America, and then we're gonna go to the Central or the North, depends where you kind of count it, and see the Caribbean. Yeah, a lot of garbage here now. You can blame the government for this because it's a wider area, but I have to say, with that such a low budget, it's gonna be hard to cope with that. So I can say, I don't know, maybe the people that in the area, especially those who have a front beach property, let's call it like that. If I was living there, probably I'm gonna take a day per week just going on the beach, at least in front of my property, just clean it, so I can actually enjoy going in the water there. I would say this is from the British time, but maybe I'm wrong. No. Let's see someone else. Okay, see, not a huge country. Let's check other region. Here it's a highly dense populated one, which I expect some horrible situation. So far, those houses, I think the economic value there is gonna be horrible, but this one I will choose that low economic value than just living in these shed holes. I mean, look at this. This is no way. Look at this. A lot of garbage. Everyone is just jammed together. I can even feel the smell here. How bad it's gonna smell. This guy just wearing a mask, but probably because it's pandemic. Yeah, a lot of cars, a lot of noise, a lot of pollution, a lot of nonsense. This is 2022. The road, despite this high traffic, looks pretty good again. So I'm kind of impressed by that. Like I say, make the main roads pretty good, very good, and the rest of them, you don't have the funding, you don't have the budget, no problem. Just make a good dirt road, and it's gonna have like a very low maintenance, I would say, and also very low cost to build them. Yeah, it just no. Here is not for me. It's just nah. Look at this. When there are a lot of people in a small area, even this one is like a spread out, pretty big. You can see here, nothing well can came out of that. Here, just a little bit more spread out, I would say. But again, look at this those concrete, and those look like a much better economic area, like a rich neighborhood maybe. Even that is just, I don't think it's worth it. Look at this. It's just those, like I said, we have those we see earlier, those fences with pretty much from sticks or palm trees, whatever they made it. The houses, yeah, not that well, but still they look much better. This one actually kind of be like a nice house here. So clearly those are kind of the rich neighborhoods, 100%. They have cameras, the road is pretty good. They have even alignment here. Maybe we got in a good area actually. Not all of the houses that way, but at least we saw a few there. As a Western, as a European, I'm not sure if it's worth it to just go in a country like this and live here. Yeah, it's gonna be extremely cheap for us, most likely, but yeah, I'm not sure it's actually gonna worth it. But the medical system, if they declare it right, actually is not bad at all. And that's pretty much the biggest worry you can have in those undeveloped countries. But this one, if those data are accurate, actually not so bad. Now again, probably this area that we check here is not that bad. Especially look at this, they have nice houses, or maybe who knows, those are the people that actually living in the West. Yeah, here those potholes, you can see what I'm talking about. I prefer, like I say, a dirt road than see those potholes here. That's a no-no for me. And again, looks like one of those rich area, so probably because they have money, they buy those big heavy cars, and that's why the road gets in pretty much destroyed very quickly. That would be a reason. Let's check the beach here. Let's see the properties here. Yeah, from above doesn't look that well, and you have a train that's coming from here. So yeah, Sri Lanka, if they have a population, let's say around 1 million people or even less than that, I would see them doing very well, because they have some areas that actually can do well. Now, a lot of garbage here, and I blame 100% those people in the area, because the 100% it is their garbage. I'm not sure how those guys make those street views, but probably with a backpack, I would say. Yeah, you can see here a lot of potholes here. It's just, and it looks like they have some sort of a sidewalk under this dirt here and garbage. So clearly at some point the government tried to civilize them, let's call it like that. I'm not sure if I want to buy something from this store. Yeah, a lot of garbage, I don't like it. But look at this, they have trees, which is nice. They have green, which is nice, but again, human touch here pretty much fucked up everything. Some houses actually not so bad. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening here, there at least. This is 2021, so pretty recently. Have a train station here, so if you stay in this house, look at this. See, you don't need that much fences, just this fence like that is gonna be better. You don't have that fences in the first place. But they have a palm tree, they have some trees. They're kind of a dirty here, so yeah, if it rains, good luck with that. So I will put some grass and some rocks to make an alley when it's raining, so I can actually not have mud on my shoes. Clearly a very dense population area, so yeah, this house, I don't like it. I'm not sure if it's for sale or for renting, whatever that says there, but clearly it looks like a recent construction, probably from this century. And at least it's better than others. Clearly some fire hazards here, 100%, but I think that's the last worry here. And look at this one, see? Poor house, but they have a decent yard. I would say not a nice yard, but a decent yard. Much better to live, like I say, in that. I'm gonna go back, probably from the end of the video, back to that northern area when you see that palm trees, those nice fences made from the palm leaves, and pretty big yards. So yeah, be much better. Yeah, these buildings like this, it's a no-no for me. You already know if you watch my videos why. PT Cruiser here, yeah, the worst car ever made, finds its way to Sri Lanka. We didn't talk about cars. Let's see what kind of cars they're driving. Again, road here pretty good. I like this on the middle lane, those green stuff here. They have a Huawei and a Samsung store. They have some motorcycles too, some scooters. We have a Mercedes here. This is 2015. Wow, so pretty back. Can we check the gas prices? Let's see how well they done. 2022. Okay, more recently now. That's better. Yeah, those building a no. Yeah, it's pretty a jam area. I like those banana trees. I can't wait for mine to grow. Even doesn't matter if they're never gonna make bananas, but I just like those big leaves. Again, pandemic times. A lot of people here. Cars not so bad, but also not that well either. They have some expensive one, I would say, especially from the GDP. Let's call it like that. I'm not sure exactly how much money those people actually get here, in the salaries, but clearly not that well if they come here to work. Yeah, again, you can see. Is that meme that goes around the internet, civilized how they live and uncivilized how they live, and clear the uncivilized, they live a much cleaner life than those civilized one. But yeah, I have no idea what happened here. They just lose a wall or something, maybe 2 walls. Again, probably they're selling the house, but I'm not gonna buy a house here. There's no fucking way. Yeah, probably they wanna widen the road and they cannot take land from those people on their properties, and that's why you're missing a few walls on your house. This one, it looks like a big house, which I don't think it's gonna be it's a nonsense one. Now, back in the day, we have to look at those fertility rate numbers. We saw 5, 6 around that, and now they got below replacement. That's gonna affect, I would say, how you build your house, because it's one thing, especially if you want to give them a very good life. You have to design a house in one way if you have like 5 kids, and in a total different way if you have like 2 kids. So that's gonna take a different, I would say, urban code, which here the government should step in. But yeah, clearly there is a long way for that. Yeah, at least they build from concrete and some bricks, whatever they have there, so not from wood, which actually good for them. I don't like wooden house. Let's go inside the land, deep in the land. Let's see what we can find here. Let's check this one on the hills here. Wow, actually, again, the road pretty good. I have to give them that. No, the road are actually pretty good. Dialogue, wow, probably some phone company. Yeah, those stores here don't look amazing. This forest, I actually like it. I think they're pine trees. I always like a pine tree. What elevation we are? Almost 1,000 meters. Wow, so pretty high. Probably you might need to hit your home here, especially in the winter. Yeah, they have a lot of bananas. I'm not sure if you want to buy bananas. Probably you can find them on the side of the road, not here, but in the lower area. Nice Toyota Hilux, I really like those ones. Wow, glass doors, that's something. Yeah, road pretty good. The bus station, not so bad. Let me check the east coast. Yeah, just stay on one coast. Let's check this beach. Hopefully it's clean. And we have some cows on the beach, so pretty happy cows, I would say. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here with this cable, but yeah, the beach not that well. You have some garbage here and some shit here, probably from the cow. Let's check this alley here that goes to the beach. Yeah, nice trees, some military area, I would say, which doesn't look that well defended. I have to say, I don't know what they're trying to fool anybody with these fences here, but doesn't look that that well made, let's call it like that. But yeah, again, who's gonna attack Sri Lanka, right? This road, see, that's exactly what I'm saying. I hate those one when they have some tarmac here and they just pretty much gone, and now we just live with those potholes. A dirt road here is gonna be much better and much smoother. So yeah, that's exactly what I expected here. Hopefully, at least from what I see now, it's not that much of the case. It's just the first one that I saw. I want to see to the end. Let's see if they get in a bigger one, in a better one. So yeah, on the left side, even here it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, see exactly what I hate. Just a dirt road here is gonna be much better and much easier to maintain and much cheaper. So yeah, let's check this area here when people think like they're pretty jammed together. So this one, yeah, that's a no. Looks horrible. The one thing that I like it, that just because we don't have here in Europe just palm trees, that's kind of give you a nice vibe. But yeah, they have running water, which is pretty nice, and this is probably the water meter, I would say. It's kind of in a weird position there, but I guess this is how they do it there. A lot of those tuk-tuks or whatever they call it, not a big fan of them, but probably cheap transportation from them there. Those door looks expensive. I'm not sure exactly how they cost, but probably for them not that cheap. This is too big of the house, and probably in a too bad area to make some money in the tourist industry. This one, they start building the house and then it feels like they kind of give up, on the midway. Yeah, no, I'm liking this. I don't like this region. It's just no. Let's see something else. I'm not sure exactly if they have mountains, but I'm gonna check that at some point. Here on the beach, let's see those front beach properties. Front beach property, the road again here is pretty good, but probably a dirt one is gonna be better. Yeah, you have a lot of bottles here, and I don't know if it's a well or whatever is there, but it looks at least unsafe. If that is deep. Yeah, at least we have the sea, the ocean here pretty close, so that's a nice thing. Probably here when they dry the fish or whatever they're doing. Clearly not very clean people here in this area. You can see a lot of garbage on the road. Yeah, look at this, just no thank you. And it could be actually a very nice area. See, this is where they dry the fish. Now if you keep the fish like that, I'm not sure exactly how sanitized it's gonna be. But hey, judging from those infant mortality rate and some high life expectancy, probably it's pretty safe, I would say. Yeah, like I say, hopefully those data are actually accurate. So clearly this look like a fishing village here to me. Yeah, those garbage here is just kind of ruined the whole experience, and that you can only blame on the people, no one else, not even the government at this point. Just even the government, if you step in and say, hey, we're gonna clean the beach and everything around it, but you have to keep it, I would say if you go back in a week, you're gonna find it pretty much the same, with garbage all over the place. Now I'm not sure exactly what happened with the road here. As you can see, they tried to make one, and again, probably they should make it a dirt road and leave it like that. It's gonna be a much better one and much cheaper, and you can use the money in different ways. And also probably the best way, just educate the people. Look at this here on your own backyard, and you have like bite wire from a fence. I have no idea what's happening here, but you have a lot of garbage here, so it's a no. I'm not sure exactly why you want to have a fence here with a door when pretty much here you can just walk up from here. Yeah, this is one of those concrete roads, which is clearly much better and it's gonna last much longer than a bitumen one, tarmac one. What else can we see? Now we just go in a dirt road. And now we go into the bad one. Yeah, clearly it is poverty. I have to say that. Just no matter metrics I'm trying to use, no matter how much I want to say nice good things about this region, the money, it's still money. Oh, look at it, they have a nice road here, and it's 2021, and the area looks more open. I can see why they're trying to make money somewhere else and then just come back to spend in here, but again, that is not a good policy, not a long-term one. On a short term, yeah, you can have some growth in a GDP, and you can use those foreign money to just pretty much sustain your consumption there, but not on the long term. It's I would say a poor way to jumpstart your economy, because like any jumpstart, it's gonna start for a while and then it's gonna stop, because probably the government in this way, they're not gonna get motivated to invest in a long-term economic benefits. They're just gonna enjoy those short times, and corruption, as you can see, is gonna pretty much flourish. So yeah, I'm not a big fan, like I say, on those jumpstart economies. He could work if you have a decent government, like I say, with very low corruption on a short term, and then you actually use those money, you use your tax money to bring some sort of service market, mainly, and some industry, hopefully a high-end one, if you have educated people that can actually support it. Road pretty good. Yeah, it's like I said, you can see here in the West, we just pretty much export the agriculture, because if you make agriculture here, and anyone in the world, agriculture doesn't bring that much money and it's high labor intensive, so we don't want to do that. We just want to export to those poor countries, and you can buy them on cheap prices, even if they have, let's say, get hit by a drought or whatever. You have seen so many poor countries living pretty much on the agriculture, so you're still gonna have some goods. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit more expensive, but the West can afford to pay a slightly higher prices. Same with the industry, I would say the low consumer markets, or low quality products. You can see pretty much made in China, Vietnam, and those countries. You can export that too, because again, you're gonna use your people to make those very poor quality object. Again, yeah, it's gonna ensure jobs, but hopefully, like I say, here in the West, with the dropping in population, you're not gonna have that much pressure on the job market on the I would say on the citizen, from the people to make jobs. You can see the thing in Europe, with the US, when they say, oh, we're gonna bring the job back. Yeah, but nobody's gonna want those jobs, and most likely they're gonna get automated and made by the robots. So from the West, just give you some insights here. We choose to go for the high-end manufacturing, high-end industries and services mainly. If you do industry, you better gonna do the high-end one. It's gonna actually make more money. You have much bigger rewards. Yes, you're gonna need less and less people with that, because let's face it, nobody wants to go in the industry. On the service market, service industry, yeah, clearly, like I say, 80%, 70%, 80% in the Western world, they have that as the base economy. And I heard some rumors that they're gonna make a new one, like some change of information. I'm not sure exactly how that exactly means and how it's gonna be implemented, but we're gonna see in the future, and probably the Western countries are gonna be the first to implement it. And we're gonna see exactly how much economic value they're gonna bring, and we're gonna see how well they're doing. Yeah, very nice roads here. So yeah, for now I'm not giving you, like I say, some economic lesson or whatever job you should take, but probably if you work in a service area, you should have a much better life. At least not that, okay, not gonna take that much toll on your body, and the money should be at least decent. So they're trying to measure this zone, probably from development, who knows. Maybe they're gonna start some project here, but it's gonna look like in the middle of forest, so kind of a bad area, I would say. Yeah, let's check the southern part of the country. Yeah, like I say, better to work in a service industry. Even here, if you work in a nice hotel and you make some, look at like this one, it looks like a nice hotel, and you can make actually, oh, looks pretty nice actually, and you can make some good tips. You be nice to people, you taking care of them, especially, like I said, they came here in vacation, and everybody to just coming to go in a resort, they just want to be served. So some of them, they didn't even go outside the resorts. So yeah, even in Mexico, I think they guard those resorts with military. So you can see how bad things are there. But people are still going because, you know, nice beach, decent areas to spend your vacation, and have some sort of a golf course here, which is pretty nice. But look at this. This is the main how they call this one, the main employer of the area. Let's call it like that. And let's see how those people are close to it. So you can see that nice pool, how they live there, and the people are just slightly around them on that hotel. They're living like this. So clearly you can see here the wages are not that well. Obviously not every single one of them they're gonna work in that hotel, most likely, but you can have at least a good start there. Now, you cannot realize that much. This one actually is pretty good, so maybe this guy working at that hotel. You can't do much without the government support. That's why I'm saying, if you push for a low corruption in your country, usually you are gonna do well. So if you actually vote, and if you see things that are not going well, just, it doesn't matter which candidate it is. If you see someone new that was never in power, let's say, I would say it's a good choice to just change it, because clearly those well-established, that's a pretty good road, well-established party are not gonna do well in the future, because clearly if they didn't do that much in the past. Now, I'm not saying this is the Sri Lanka case, but as a general, those parties that are in power didn't do that well. It's not gonna do well in the future too. Now the bus station, yeah, doesn't look that good. A lot of garbage here, not that well maintained. Some posters was there. Yeah, like I say, you probably, this one, I don't know, is for a concert or maybe some politics, some election coming. This white probably looks at a hotel, I would say, who knows. Yeah, the road's pretty good, but clearly those houses that you can see here doesn't even compare with what this resort hotel has to offer. Yeah, this alley doesn't look that well. They need some maintenance here, and this one too. So clearly not that well maintained, even this hotel. But if they manage somehow to attract some tourists, this is 2018, so well before the pandemic, and it looks pretty empty, and it's May, so I'm not sure if they have like a hurricane or typhoon season or wet season, whatever, and they have some periods when they don't do that well. But that resort at that hour should be not full, but at least have someone. Again, road's pretty good. I am kind of impressed. You can call me impressed. Nice road. See, here doesn't look that well, but at least it's a dirt road. You can actually level that much easier and much cheaper. Yeah, those concrete fences, again, we're gonna, if we're gonna stay on this channel, we're gonna do all the countries in the world, and I want to do every single state in USA, and you're gonna see New England. See, it doesn't have that huge fences. You're gonna see those houses without fences, with nothing, with nice front yards, and you're gonna see how well the urban planning it is, and you're gonna actually enjoy it, and you're gonna want to live like this there. So that's worth it, I would say. And like I say, if you stay on the channel, you're gonna see that at some point, especially like I say in the New England, in the northeast part of the United States. We're gonna see that, and it's gonna be a pleasure to see it, trust me. Now here again in Sri Lanka, I have to say roads actually pretty good. I would like to have one of those bikes here. It looks pretty nice. I'm not sure how those people, when you come in my country to work, are gonna cope with the traffic, because here is pretty leisure, at least in the countryside. I believe probably most of those people that working in the West, they are coming from this countryside, because clearly they don't have that much economic opportunities. At least they realize it, which I have to give them that. They realize that having like 5-6 kids is not sustainable, and they go down to just 2, and they go now for a country like this. I would say they should go below 1, but clearly they are going in that direction. So yeah, I would say at some level they realize a few things, that it's not worth it have that many kids. Yeah, this region, look at this. No way, this is horrible. I would not want to live here. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. It looks horrible. Like I say, on the end of the video, I'm gonna go back to that. Yeah, here is pretty much the dead road, dead end. It's not worth it. We're gonna go back to that nice Palm Beach, whatever it is. Let me check this one. Wow, this one actually looks pretty good from above. No entry. I think it looks like a park or something. Doesn't look that well. This alley well maintained, but I bet this road is gonna be a great one. Yeah, see. And whoever lives in this house actually looks pretty nice. They have a lot of potential. I would change those fences and see those doors here, those gates. The lawn looks pretty good. I will make some changes here too. Some bigger plants, I would say. This one I will maintain it much better, in the house some improvement, but again I need kind of money for that. But actually this is a beachfront property, let's call it that, which is not on the beach. It's on the front lake property, but it looks pretty good. They have a nice road. I get they have a lot of noises, but I'm not sure how safe it is to have those cows that close to the road, but I guess they don't care that much about it, and especially with those dogs. So in my country you're not gonna see dogs on the road usually. There's no way you're gonna find them in the cities, especially in the main ones. So yeah, I will strongly advise them to change that. What is going on here? Actually looks pretty good, this area. Maybe some British influence in this region. Yeah, here it just fucked up. So now just down there is pretty nice. Everything else just nope, we're not having it. Overall, what I can say about them? Well, first of all, it's nice to live on the beach than living here in the mountains, or mountains, you know, slightly highly elevated area. They have a lot of banana trees, which is nice. They have actually good roads, which is interesting. They have a lot of wildlife on the road, so if you go there, be careful driving. Yeah, you can see poor country. I think they're doing a bit better than India on GDP per capita, at least. Again, we don't check India, but in India I kind of highly suspect what I will see there. Looks pretty good, like I said. Roads pretty good, and I want to go back to that region here. Funny, I'm not sure exactly when I'm gonna exactly go for that one, exactly where it was, but it looks at least a bit better. It's not this one, but let's check this one too. Yeah, decent road, not such a bad way. I really like that part right there. I'm not sure exactly where it was now, but it was looking pretty decent. Look at this, nice roads, open areas. Oh, level ground road again, big fan of that. Oh, they have some beach property here. Front beach property, I'll keep calling that. Yeah, a lot of garbage here. Not so well. And again, that I blame on people. At some point you have to stop blaming government for some things. Just blame the people because they're living in the area. I'm not sure I'm gonna find that area again. Maybe this one, but no, there's no housing here, so can't be this. Oh, there are 3 houses, but doesn't look that well. I'm not sure. Maybe we got lucky with that area and you're not gonna find it again and stuff like that. But it was looking pretty nice, I have to say. This one housing is pretty jammed together and something happening there. So no, this one I would not live here, just way too close. A lot of garbage here, a lot of nonsense. Clearly a fishing boat, a lot of dogs here. How they walk here without getting bit by the dogs? Bit by a dog? Oh, thank you, I'm not gonna go there. Maybe here, but yeah, it doesn't look like a wealthy part. Again, fishing boats. How much money can make from the fishing? Probably not that much. They have some other islands that I can check. Probably they have a few things, but not much. I'm not sure it's there inside the country. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna find that area again, but you see it at the beginning of the video. It was pretty nice. I actually like it there. It was, like I said, some sort of a Caribbean vibe, which was quite nice. Yeah, overall, this is a military post, whatever it is here. Again, I'm not sure exactly what they defended here, but hey, they defend the country. Road pretty good. A lot of cows. They like soccer, football, like soccer. Wow, just got so American right now. They got soccer. They like football. Wide fields. This goat doesn't look safe here, and this one also doesn't look that safe, but hey, I guess you just have to be careful when you drive here, especially probably on the night. It's gonna be like you need to have very good headlights to actually see like 500 meters in front of you to make sure you don't gonna hit anything. Yeah, I keep staying in this area, but clearly I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for, so yeah, I think we are gonna end the video right here. Now, well, I have to say, it's actually pretty nice. If they, like I say, if they somehow manage to pick themselves up and making some decent economy, probably, I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. What is this? A border check? This is 2021, so probably because of pandemic. I'm not sure. Maybe they have those checks. Yeah, probably that. Whatever. Water pumps. This is like what? Advertisement? Yeah, look pretty stressful there, but it is what it is. Those are like most like floatable fields. Yeah, so yeah, if they pick up the economy like I just mentioned earlier, maybe they can have some decent life for those people that are living right now. Hopefully, like I say, with the lowering population at some point in the next 25 years, we're gonna see a much better looking Sri Lanka, but most likely outside the main cities and not in this huge one, because I can guarantee you right now, whoever lives here in those highly jammed area, I don't care how much money you have, look at this, you're gonna still have to live in those extremely tight spaces. Now this one obviously inside and even outside they're gonna live much better than most of the people, but I will still not choose to live in those areas. I'm gonna use that money to just build a nice house with a huge land outside the cities on the beach and live like in paradise there. and keep my businesses whatever I have here. And clearly they have, this is gonna be tall building, they have, let's say, some startups that can deliver. I mean, look, it's a BMW, it's so expensive cars here, a Honda, those are expensive cars even from Europe, and even the house here doesn't look bad, but again, not for me. So yeah, if you live there, how exactly the life it is there, like I said, probably already I see what I needed to see. And also I see that a lot of them just came here in the West and taking those low entry jobs, low pay jobs. They pay most likely more than gonna get in their country, so they're gonna send the money back home and use that to improve their lives. But I tell you right now, selling your labor cheap is not gonna bring you prosperity, especially with a high corruption government. So fix the corruption first and then try to pick yourself up inside your country. It's gonna be a much better bet than just go outside and work for the minimum wage in those countries, even if it's bigger than yours. On the long term, especially if you have kids, you're not gonna do them any favor. Yeah, so see you in the next video.